So if you're keeping up with my Facebook, one of the things you will have mentioned, or one of the things you will have seen me mention last week, will have been my rediscovery, so to speak, that us dyslexics are a creative bunch. Now this is important because with creativity means ideas, lots of them. Dyslexics are always coming up with new and innovative solutions to all sorts of problems. So I got the idea, if this is one of the primary skill sets of dyslexic, let's create a tool that helps dyslexics come up with new ideas. Believe it or not, there's a method out there that actually exists. It goes into very different names depending on who you talk to, and I'll put a link to a brilliant description in the description below, or a brilliant analogy of it in the description below. But I'm going to call it by a name that is commonly known as the 20 idea method. This method is very, very simple. You have a problem. Doesn't matter what that problem is, but you have a problem, and you need a highly innovative and good solution to it. You need $1 million solution. So what you do is you write down the idea at the top of the page, and then you write down 20 solutions to that page. The first 10, they come easy. The next 5 are a little bit harder. It's the last 5 that will take you the better part of an hour. And it's those last 5 that are key, because within those last 5 solutions to your problem contain your $1 million idea. Now, this is a great method. I've used it. It works wonders. I've heard that CEOs and billionaires and millionaires and entrepreneurs and all sorts of highly successful people use it. The problem for us dyslexics is one very, very simple way in which it's done. It involves writing. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of dyslexics, myself included, that have no issue with reading or writing, and I'm not saying that. The problem that dyslexics face, or known to face when it comes with reading and writing, is purely down to the way they're taught, and I'm not going to tackle that. The problem is that it's short sentences. That's the main key. Sure, getting the problem down in 1 or 2 sentences is fair enough, but dyslexics, we think incomplete ideas. We come up with total solutions. That sure, you can write down the crux in 1 sentence, but they are so highly detailed that we need a way to get that detail onto the page. I have lost count of the amount of times where I've come up with an idea and I've had a brain spark moment, and suddenly it's like a light switch goes on and the entire room, the entire idea becomes crystal clear. Every single detail. And now I have to go write it down. And I will spend days, weeks, in some cases months, writing down an idea that I came up with in a matter of seconds, because it is that highly detailed. So, the solution is trying to figure out a way for us dyslexics to get those ideas down in a format that makes them easy to communicate, that doesn't involve writing. Because a picture does say 1,000 words. And if dyslexics think in pictures, and people think in pictures, why not figure out a way to put these ideas down in picture format? It makes better sense. And it doesn't have to be a picture that makes sense to anybody. As long as it makes sense to the dyslexic so the dyslexic can explain it to other people, that's okay. And then I remembered when I was in college, and we did a very small amount of 3D animation. Not a whole lot, just a small amount. But I remember thinking this was gold, because it was what I had been yearning for since I was 2. It was a way for me to represent an idea in 3 dimensions without the need for long reams of writing. But I would have killed for a small amount of text so that I could label things, so that I could write a short paragraph. I didn't need the hugely complicated entities that came with your advanced 2-dimensional animation applications. All I needed was the ability to do a line, maybe an arrow, a sphere, and a box. And that's what I'm going to try and attempt to do. I'm going to try and attempt to create my own 3-dimensional rendering application. But it's not going to have any special effects because they're not needed. All we need is the ability to attach text to objects, a sphere, a line to connect objects together, a box we can make bigger or smaller, and maybe an arrow. That's it, nothing fancy. And then when we hit the go button, the ability to move the camera around from point to point and zoom in and zoom out to explain various parts of what we create. This has to be cross-platform. You can't have to download and install a special application to do it, because not everybody's going to have access to that. If you're doing this on a work computer, for example, you won't necessarily have the rights to install a specific application. So with that in mind, I'm going to use a browser. And I'm going to try and do it in HTML5. I'm going to try and make a three-dimensional rendering application, a basic three-dimensional rendering application in HTML5. And I'm going to try and get something down by the end of the next week, by Friday. I'm not saying I'm going to have a full application ready, but I'll know whether or not it's possible. That's my goal for next week, to know whether or not it is possible. And I will update you then. And if it's not possible, I'll try and figure out another solution. So join me next week. Subscribe. Like my Facebook page. I'll put a link down to that below as well. And maybe we can get somewhere. I really believe that this is a way that us dyslexics can help.